Hi, I'm Kate Mueller, Chief Product Owl and Resident Cheesemonger here at KnowledgeOwl, and welcome to the August 2023 product newsletter. We've got a lot to cover this month, so let's get right into it. To start with, the most exciting release we've had in the last month has been our latest addition to the Tools menu, the Advanced Search function. So normally if you search in your live knowledge base or even here in the app within Find Articles or within Knowledge Base Manage, what we're basically searching there is the text of an article and its title. And this is great for text-based searches, but it's a bit limiting if you're trying to find anything that's in the underlying HTML. So the link to article creates an HGID reference. Inserting a topic article creates a KO topic reference. You can't search the HTML or CSS classes or anything like that. Until now, Advanced Search is designed specifically to search the underlying HTML of your articles. So this allows you to say, all right, I want to find every single article where we have used this particular color or that references this particular URL because I want to update it, or that has a particular class or contains an iframe or something like that. That's what this advanced search is designed to do. So we're releasing this in a few different phases. In this initial phase, the search results will get put into a CSV that you can download and view. Our next phase will be adding an actual user interface display here for the search results. But you can do two different types of searches. The first is an exact match, which is a case-sensitive text-based search. You can put any phrase or a bit of HTML in here, and we will look for exact matches of that. The other option is a regex pattern. This is not case sensitive, so we'll pull in anything with any case match here if you put a normal text string in. You can also use full-blown regex patterns if you are knowledgeable about using regex patterns. By default, we will search everything that's in a published or a needs review status, since those are the two publishing statuses that will be visible in your live knowledge base. You can use the checkboxes to optionally include draft and archived articles once you put in a phrase in search. So let me do that. You'll see this progress bar across the top that'll let you know how many articles it's already searched, how many it has left to search. Once your search completes, you'll have a download option here where you can download that CSV. A couple quick notes on this. We will show you the date timestamp of the last search that was run. We will also show you the actual phrase or word that was searched previously. We do keep these CSV files generated for about 24 hours. So you can run a search, and if it's taking a while, you can navigate away, go do something else, and then come back to it and download the CSV after that time. This is a knowledge base wide search, and we will only run one search at a time, regardless of how many different authors you have. So if I'm running a search, Mary Beth can't come in and run a search at the same time. She'll have to wait until my search completes, and then she'll be able to run it. Everyone who has access to this advanced search page will be able to download the search results that you have generated. And that's a very, very quick high-level overview. I'm doing an entire Wisdom Wednesday session on this next Wednesday, August 30th. So if you have questions or you want to check it out more, please, please, please join me there and learn more about advanced search. The other interesting feature update that we've had in the last month comes on the reporting side of things, in the contact form reporting. So for those of you who are using our contact form, if you've been playing around in your search activity reporting particularly, there's never been a great way to look at this data in aggregate. You've always had to sort of jump into an individual page breakdown and then view the individual searches that someone had run from that page. We've updated this now to include a CSV export. So this export will respect whatever date range you have selected. You can then generate a CSV for that and download the export. It will include basically all of the same information that you would normally see in the page breakdown section, but across all pages, across all search locations. So if you've been itching to see what people are searching for in your contact form, whether they've been self-serving or not, this can be a great way to get at all of that data. And the third kind of big thing we've released in the last month is not actually within KnowledgeOwl itself. we've started playing around with official Zapier integrations. So this is kind of a new space for us. Zapier is incredibly powerful. In the past, we've used it predominantly with our webhooks, but we've never had an official Zapier app. We do now. We have one, and we're kind of testing the waters to see how useful this functionality is for our customer base and how much interest y'all have in it. So for this first one, we've created a built-in Zap that will allow you to automatically create new articles when something occurs. So that might be somebody sends an email to a particular address. It might be they submit a survey response, and that survey response goes into Google Sheet, and therefore a new row gets entered in there. We've seen this worked a few different ways, but we've built the app so that you don't have to do a lot of thinking and work in it. You can select which category you want those articles to be created in. This can be a great way to facilitate subject matter experts or end users submitting information that they think should be in the knowledge base. We've seen folks use this for internal knowledge bases to generate new job descriptions, for example, or share updated policies or something like that. So there's a lot of potential here. We're kind of holding off on building additional Zapier integrations until we get a better feel for what people are looking for. So even if this particular integration doesn't do anything for you and isn't of interest, if there is something else you'd like to see us build, a sort of automated Zapier app to leverage, please let us know. We're very interested in pursuing these kinds of integrations. And outside the app, boy, our team's been a little bit busy. So we didn't have a Wisdom Wednesday since our last product newsletter, but you might see we've got this new little thing called a video library in our top navigation. So our success owls have been slowly building out quick video recordings of a variety of topics. I think the big ones we'd want to do call outs to right now would be getting started, which is really useful if you are getting started with your first knowledge base, and the reporting walkthrough, which just high level walks through the feature set there. We will be continuing to add more videos into this space in the coming months. So give it a look now and maybe bookmark it or come back to it later. I will probably be doing some call outs to this in future product newsletters. On the documentation side, we've had one new blog post since our last product newsletter, which is very much geared toward people creating their first knowledge base. This might also be really useful if you are trying to overhaul an existing knowledge base and you're thinking starting from scratch might be the place to go. Erica, one of our lead success owls, has been putting this together. It's a pretty straightforward, practical guide, probably worth checking out if you're in the early stages of creating a new knowledge base, especially if you've never created a knowledge base before. And aside from that, I do have some fun little documentation updates for you. So maybe the most interesting of these, Slack. In the past, we've had documentation on how to create a webhook Slack integration so that when a particular event happens in your knowledge base, you could have a Slack channel automatically pinged with details about that event. And our existing documentation on this relied on an existing Slack app called Incoming Webhooks. Now, Slack has deprecated that app, and they have a sort of scary message on it saying that at some future date, they're going to discontinue it completely. So we've started building out alternatives to that. The first alternative to this is that you can build a Slack app using Incoming Webhooks functionality. It just doesn't use the old Slack Incoming Webhooks app itself. You have to configure the app. I've updated our documentation to follow those steps. However, those of you using Slack integrations, it might pay for you to procrastinate a little bit on this because we are working on an official Slack app that would greatly simplify the setup here. We should have this official Slack app coming out, I'm going to say within the next 2 months, hopefully a lot faster than that. So there's going to be options there. The other chunk of documentation that we've updated is not really new functionality, but it is something that we were getting a lot of confusion on. So anybody who has access to app.knowledgeowl.com has an author account. You are able to create author teams and then restrict content to individual teams so that you can control who can edit certain bits of content from your entire author pool. And This concept has been pretty straightforward, but we've always had a bit of confusion about what happens when you set author team restrictions at the category level and they get inherited by an article, and how do you remove restrictions once you've added them. So I've updated our documentation. We didn't have documentation on that before. Hopefully this helps clear up some of the confusion. If you're new to author teams, now is a great time to check out the documentation because it's a little bit more thorough than it's ever been. And there we have it. Thank you so much for watching this month, and I will see you back here for September's newsletter.